Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Zolak. I'm Sol from Aksum University, Department of Biotechnology. And today in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about vaccine in general. And I just wanna focus on modern vaccine like DNA and RNA vaccine, which is used as a powerful weapon to fight against infectious and contagious diseases like coronavirus and other diseases like cancer. But before I start my lecture, I just wanna ask you some questions. First, what's a vaccine? What are the components of vaccine? What are main type of vaccine available? How are new vaccine developed or manufactured? Why it takes so long to develop a new vaccine? How are vaccine administered or delivered into your body? How a vaccine works and it keeps you healthy? Why vaccination is so important? The last but not the least question is just why do you feel a little bit sick after the vaccination, or are there any side effects from the vaccination itself? Back to the first one, vaccine is traditionally defined as an activated or attenuated version of the pathogen. Pathogen is any disease causing any like bacteria, fungus, virus, and other microorganisms. But in a modern sense, vaccine is defined as just it could be just either DNA sequence or just messenger RNA code for antigenic spike protein on the surface of the pathogen. And it's not just the intact pathogen which is gonna be used as a vaccine just in a modern way. So, second thing is just component of vaccine, or the component and the ingredients that are present in the vaccine play a crucial role in ensuring vaccine stay effective. And among those components, some of them are just antigen or epitope, adjuvant, preservative, stabilizers, so on and so forth. First one is just antigen or epitope. Antigen or epitope are just a protein molecules that are present on the pathogen, and it will strengthen your immune cells or your body to fight against a real pathogen if it encounters in the future. Second one is adjuvant. It's a component of vaccines that just boost your immune cells. Just it helps a vaccine work better. That means just vaccine will be just effective than expected. Third one is just preservative. Preservatives are just component of vaccine which just ensure vaccine stay effective and safe. The first one is just stabilizer. Stabilizers are just a component or ingredient of the vaccine that just protects vaccine during just transportation and storage. The next thing is type of vaccine. There are about two type of vaccine: prophylactic and therapeutic one. Prophylactic are just vaccines that are given against infectious and contagious diseases like COVID-19, HIV, just Ebola, polio, just flu, influenza, hepatitis A, B, C, so on and so forth. Second one is therapeutic one. Therapeutic vaccine like that of just cancer vaccine, and an intensive research is still going on. Also, vaccine can be classified as just traditional vaccine, modern or just recombinant vaccine, and nanoparticles. Actually, nanoparticles are just nano-sized virus, just particles that are synthesized in the laboratory to fight against this dangerous disease like Ebola virus. And the next thing is vaccine development. Actually, just traditional vaccine is derived from a natural source. Just, the scientists you simply just develop traditional vaccine either by inactivation or live attenuation method. Activation means the way of inactivating the pathogen either by exposing it to the extreme heat or chemicals. But live attenuation is since the way of making the pathogen either dead or just weakened to make sure it's not pathogenous, it's not virulent, or it's not disease causing. The next thing is just the way of just vaccine development in a modern system. The advancement in the technology enable scientists to develop vaccine without just even using dead or weakened version of the pathogen. Scientists and experts simply just isolate either DNA sequence or messenger RNA that code for antigenic spike protein on the surface of the pathogen, and they will use it as a vaccine to fight against dangerous virus and new emerging disease. For example, just we can take Sinovac of China, as well as AstraZeneca, UK or Oxford University, as well as Moderna, Pfizer, BioNTech, and different companies are nowadays working just to develop vaccine based only by using messenger RNA that code for just antigenic spike protein on the surface of the pathogen. They will not use just the intact pathogen as a vaccine. They only use a code that code for just antigenic spike protein. This is how modern vaccine gonna be developed. The next thing I wanna just address or just rush through is just about just vaccine production. Just the reason why just vaccine production takes away longer than years, due to vaccine trials or clinical phases. Actually, just vaccine development takes place about 3 or 4 clinical phases. That means there are about just just phases that has to be followed. During phase one, the scientists and experts will administer new vaccine candidate or just 20 up to 100 or 18 healthy volunteer, and a key focus is to assess things like safety of the vaccine or new drug candidate, as well as just to assess things like if it's just to confirm if generate immuno or if it produce antibody which is specifically bind to just antigen or epitope that present in the vaccine. This is just things that has to be assessed during the phase 1. During phase 2, just scientists and experts will administer new vaccine candidate on a few hundred just peoples, and to assess things like if there is any side effect, as well as to assess just further ability of the vaccine to produce antibody against those antigens that are present in the vaccine. During phase 3, scientists will administer their new vaccine candidate on just thousands of persons from just patient population to us, and just also they will design their study among other study to assess or demonstrate whether or not the vaccine just offer just treatment benefits for the specific population. And after several procedures, the pharmaceutical company will submit their NDD or new drug application for FDA for license and market approval. Then there is a phase 4. This phase 4 is often conducted after just the vaccine is already just approved for the consumers. And the key focus and main objective of phase 4 is to assess things like long-term effectiveness of the vaccine or new drug, or just long-term impact of those vaccine or new drug on the patient or the users. Also to just compare those vaccine with other vaccine which are already available in the market. I hope you're gonna imagine, how long it's gonna take, as you give just experimenting vaccine or as you develop vaccine. But now just scientists and experts who just work in a different biotech company like Moderna, Pfizer, BioNTech, Sinovac, AstraZeneca, Oxford University. They do believe that just within a record-breaking time they will get COVID-19 as a new emerging disease vaccine, and they are working to 24/7 to achieve that. This is the most interesting and fascinating. This is actually vaccine production. So far it's just takes longer than each even each and every single phase takes about year and a half. But now just the advancement in the technology and just the new field like biotechnology enables scientists to develop vaccine within a short period of time, and I'm so proud to be just a biotech student. The next thing just I just wanna tell you here, or I just wanna point out here is the ways that just the vaccine is administered. Actually, just most of the vaccine just administered either by just injection or through the mouth. Injection means it could be given intradermally or intramuscularly, or through the mouth. Also, it can be just given through the mouth, or it could be just sprayed in the nose. The next thing is just how vaccine work in a capsule. Actually, just when you get vaccinated or when you just take a vaccine, just your immune cells will respond against the vaccine, since those vaccine or the components that are present in the vaccines, like antigen, are just foreign material to your body. Then upon the vaccination, your immune cells, they will arm themselves and they replicate in a clone of armies, and they will launch potentially powerful germ killing agents, so-called antibody. And those antibody will touch those antigen or those germs, and they will just remove it out of the body. After the removal, just your immune cells, they leave behind a cell so-called memory B cells. Those memory cells is in prearming your immune cells, and it helps just your immune cells to give a quick response against a real pathogen if it encounter in the future. This is how vaccine for example, we can take just Sinovac, just vaccine which saw showing effectiveness as well as Oxford and AstraZeneca. Or for example, UK vaccine shows about 70, its effectiveness rose to just 90%, and it shows 70% effectiveness. As well as Moderna has just announced its vaccine is about 95% effective, even though just safety issue has to be just released. Also, just Pfizer BioNTech says its vaccine is nearly about 95% effective with no safety concern, and just is seek FDA use within a short period of time. And now UK became the first country just clinically just approved vaccine for the usage, and it just now it became the first country that claims vaccine just approved or a matter just authorized those vaccine for the usage through the UK. It will be available across UK from the next week. This is the most interesting thing. Now we are able to just combat and fight against a real pathogen. The next thing I'm gonna talk to you about right here is just why vaccination is so important. Actually, just vaccination is a way of exposing your body either to just dead or weakened version of the pathogen. This is the way of exposing your body either to dead, weakened version of the pathogen, or way of exposing your body either to messenger RNA or DNA that code for antigenic spike protein on the surface of the pathogen, or the way of exposing your body virus like nanoparticles. This is how just vaccination is gonna be defined. Vaccination is the most important as well as effective and a safe way of just protecting disease and saving life. Now more than ever, vaccination save about 3 million people every year throughout the country. When you get vaccinated, you are not simply protecting yourself, you are just protecting people who are just around you. This is how vaccine. The last question is the most interesting one. What do you feel a little bit after the vaccination? Actually, just when you vaccinated, just vaccine can cause a mild side effect like any other medicine. Just that means symptoms like reaction, headache, fevers, low-grade fevers, redness or pain at the site of injection are just absolutely normal. It means vaccine is working, and it confirms that it's provoking your immune response to give a quick response if it encounter a real pathogen in the future. This is how vaccine is gonna work. Remember that you are far more likely to be seriously injured by vaccine preventable than vaccine, because most of the vaccine preventable diseases can cause severe illness and can even be result in a disease. I hope this gonna help you understand more about vaccine, and this gonna be end of the lecture. If you have any questions, suggestion, comment, and complaint, please let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video, please give me thumbs up, and if you just don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, feel free to email me just at 7gmail.com. Thanks for watching.